Welcome back to Creating Cooperative Kids. I'm your host, Bill Corbett. We've heard stories how chemicals found in certain foods were responsible for severe illnesses in adults and children, some that were even life-threatening. My next guest says that this is no fear tactic, it's real, and she knows it firsthand. Jennifer Steiner is a certified health coach and owner of Healthy Healing Wellness, LLC. She specializes in helping people create a safe and healthy environment by identifying and removing dangerous toxins from their diets, homes, workspaces, and replacing them with healthier, safer alternatives. Jennifer says her passion for her work began when she became aware of the link between her own misdiagnosed illness and a toxin she was exposed to on a daily basis. Welcome to the show, Jennifer.
Thank you, Bill.
Let's start out and let me ask you about that. What happened?
Well, back in 2009, I was misdiagnosed with multiple sclerosis. And for over a year, I had trouble walking. I was slurring my words. I had numbness and tingling in my arms and legs. And the doctors didn't know anything. So I actually found an article online regarding food additives. And that once in the body, they're neurotoxins, so it can start to affect the brain and the central nervous system. And it did that for me. So I stopped ingesting that toxin, and a week and a half later, I was fine. And never a symptom to return.
Oh my
So
goodness.
that kind of started my journey of looking in, literally I went to the cabinet, I went to the fridge, started pulling stuff out and looking at the labels. And if there was something that I didn't know how to pronounce, I Googled it. And then that kind of, led into my anger of it, I guess. And so I went back to school to become a health coach to help prevent others from going through what I did.
Wow. So tell us a little bit about what you do now in your practice.
Well, it's not just what's in food. It's also our personal care products, our cleaning products, furniture around the home, off-gassing of formaldehyde and flame retardants on electronics. All of these things right in our very own home can potentially lead to health concerns.
And so people can seek you out
Yep.
and ask you to kind of like clarify our home or something?
Yeah. So it's really, so if people already have symptoms of something going on, we'll specifically look at certain areas of their home that, certain things in their home could be linked to that. If they don't have any symptoms already, it's really just about prevention. Because this is a huge piece of healthcare or health prevention that's not looked at. We think of being healthy, we think of working out and eating right, but we don't think about what we're being exposed to in our everyday products.
So I'm going to take a gamble here, and without naming brands, if we can keep it, are there any certain household products we should probably guide parents to take a second look at that back label on?
Yeah, well, pretty much everything we use. We're taught to read labels on food, right? But we're not taught to turn our shampoo bottles around and look at the ingredients, or our laundry detergent, or glass cleaner. We're not taught to do that. So that's really the first step. So start looking at that, start paying attention, start reading labels and questioning and being aware of what this is. Because we get all these chemicals, whether we eat it, we absorb it through our skin, we inhale it. So a lot of our home environment is a lot more toxic than the outside air. So we really need to start making changes to help protect our health and our kids' health.
So you're talking mainly about household products, over-the-counter stuff that we buy over the counter.
Right.
And we put so much faith and trust in product companies, right?
Right.
We think that they're, big conglomerates. They should know what they're doing. They invest the money to investigate and explore. They've got staffs of scientists that are supposed to be going through this thing. But, and I don't know if you can't answer this, please be honest, Art. Is it because they don't know that, or they push some of these things through, again, without naming brands or companies?
Yeah, well, it's not deliberate by these companies.
Deliberate.
And they don't test because they don't necessarily have to. Back in 1976, there was the Toxic Substances Control Act that was passed to help kind of keep tabs on all these chemicals out there. But it's in that bill, there's nothing saying that these companies have to test products for safety before they hit the market. So out of the 84,000 or so chemicals that are in commerce today, only 200 have safety data sheets on them.
And so that's a little frightening, a little concerning. But I'm guessing that a toxin or a chemical could affect some and not others.
True.
Or it could probably be perfectly fine for the majority, but a few may be sensitive enough, or the makeup, their physiological makeup could be affected by that, right?
True, true. But we don't know until we know. Like, I didn't know until I had trouble walking. So you never know what's going to affect you when it's going to affect you. And babies in the womb are being affected by some of these chemicals. So, it's not all doom and gloom because, it sounds really scary, but we have options. There are safer products out there to use. So if there weren't safer products, then we should be scared. But there are safer products. So, there's no need to be overwhelmed by any of this and
So I
scared
guess
about it.
for viewers who are watching, if this is a concern for you, or you have children or family members who are affected by a particular kind of situation or whatever, to maybe if you want to take some extra measures to keep your family safe, to seek out somebody like you, because there are products, and again, without mentioning brand names, there are products, alternatives that families can use instead of
Yes.
over-the-counters, right?
Yes, I mean, at your local supermarket even. It's not, you don't have to go to a health food store, go to Whole Foods or something like that. You can actually go just to your local supermarket, and these products are actually being sold there now very easily to get.
Okay. And so obviously you're a good authority figure in this because, one, it happened to you personally, which got you into the field that you're in. And so now your mission is what?
Really just to prevent others from going through what I did. It's looking at what are we being exposed to, and when we think of cancers, 90% of cancers are environmental. So what is in our environment that can be causing us to get sick? So that's really the goal, is just let's get to the root of this. Let's look at what you're being exposed to. Maybe it's something that you're being exposed to, maybe not, but let's take a look.
We're not saying that. It just every situation is being affected by a toxin, but you should be exploring it.
Exactly.
There's no cost to looking into it and using the information on the internet, but probably more realistically go to a coach, somebody like you. Now, you were telling me that you're a member of the Coalition for Safe and Healthy Connecticut. We're taping the show in Connecticut. And so what is this coalition?
Well, the coalition is a group that helps to get laws passed in the state of Connecticut to get toxic chemicals out of children's products. And right now they are leading the campaign for toxic-free kids. And so we have a bill that's going to be going in this session to help get some chemicals out of kids' products, but then also to make parents and citizens aware of what these ingredients are, how they're going to affect our health, and how we can make changes also.
We only got a minute left. Any last minute suggestions for parents? I mean, we showed your website. If they want more information, they can get it. But any last minute suggestions for parents?
First, don't be overwhelmed by this. Don't be scared. Don't freak out. It's okay. There's safer options. Start reading labels. Start paying attention. And, it's all baby steps. It's about making little steps over time to help limit your exposure to these toxins.
Okay. Well, good. We'll keep up the good work because we need people like you out there helping us to make sure that we know what's healthy and what's not. And to have somebody go to an authority is really important.
Yeah.
So thanks so much.
Great. Thank you, Bill.
We've heard the term unconditional love, and many parents think they know how to show it to their children, but how many know how to love their children unconditionally and still remain fully present in their own life as a person? We'll be discussing this topic, even though as strange as it may sound, and coming right after this short break. So don't touch that remote. We'll be right back with more Creating Cooperative Kids.